Folks, I know it's been a little bit since the new leader of Italy was elected, but the implications of what is happening is absolutely remarkable. Now, before I talk about this and why this becomes interesting, let me talk about what the Bible says is in essence going to happen as we get into the economy of the final Antichrist. Now, of course, we know that we are going to be raptured, right? That'll be a done deal. I think at that point, the battle of Ezekiel chapter 38 will take place. And then we're going to begin to see the events that lead to the revealing of the final Antichrist. Now, I don't think the final Antichrist will know who he is until the midway point when he becomes the beast and sets himself up in the temple and demands to be worshiped. But before that, he is going to confirm a treaty. And in doing so, there's a lot of things that are going to happen around the world. And in or around that time, we know that there will be 10 kings, 10 nations that will, in essence, capitulate their authority to this person, this final Antichrist, to be able to do what he's going to do. Now, when we analyze this, we think that this will be the revived Roman Empire. This will undoubtedly be the area of Rome, and of course, we know that this has to do with Italy. Now, what I think is actually pretty remarkable is in order for all of this to be able to happen, Europe is going to have to change pretty radically, and it's going to have to change pretty quickly. And there are going to be some things that need to take place with the structure of the EU, with how world governments begin to behave with respect to how they work with one another. And we also know that there's going to need to be a lot of change that goes on with respect to how all of that is structured, right? You're going to have global leaders. You're going to have 10 of them. They're going to be sympathetic towards the cause of the final Antichrist and the euphoric global world that they want to create. Eventually, they are going to capitulate that power, and the world is going to roll with it. Now, in order for that to happen, as I just mentioned, what we see in the EU has to change. Now, this is where the Italian president comes into play. She gets elected, and there are some folks, right? For example, the president of the European Commission, who actually begins to make some statements regarding their displeasure in the election of the Italian president, and actually said that because of what had just happened, and this is a really, really interesting thing, because of what had just happened, that they are going to withhold the money that is entitled to Italy because of the fact that they chose the wrong people. Now the former prime minister and leader of the Lega party, Matteo Salvini, gets up and he tweets this, and this is amazing, and I want you to pay attention to the tweet because it is going to be reflective of the thought of a lot of leaders. It says, "What is this threat? This is shameful arrogance." Then he goes on in an appearance on national TV. This is Italian TV. He says the EC's actions are institutional bullying. And then he states this. You ready? And this is what I want to close on. This is huge, right? If anyone in Brussels thinks of cutting the funds that belong to Italy because the League wins the elections, then we have to rethink this Europe. Let me rephrase that, or let me repeat it. Then we have to rethink this Europe. Folks, the movement to change Europe from the influential mechanism of Rome is already beginning. This is unbelievable. We are watching it happen in front of us, and it's something we ought to be thinking about. I believe that God is beginning to set up the stage markers for the theater that will be the last days. Look up, folks. Exciting things are happening. It's time to seek God and get our houses in order more than ever. God bless you.